Mobb Deep, who's one of my favorite groups ever. They had a Juvenile Hell album before they were with Loud, right?
Yep.
And so they're kids during that album, like actual like kids. What was that the album that put them on the map for you to be like, yo, what is?
No, I mean, Hit From the Back was a cool record. I just got too many calls, and Wu now is blowing up, and I need to follow up with something.
Right.
So
the pressure's on.
Right. I used to want to be like a one-hit wonder.
Right.
So Prodigy was sick, and Hav comes, and he comes with the Mobb crew, and I just knew again. I heard one song, I think it was called Patty Shop.
Okay.
I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. And I got a phone call from a woman who worked at distribution who was like managing him. Then I had an assistant by the name of Scott Free who had just started. He goes, these guys are incredible. Then there was a big DJ in New York called Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch, man. Yeah. That's a legend right there.
Right. So Maddie wasn't working for us yet. And then I meet Maddie. He goes, these guys are incredible. And like, we did the deal. That album to me, Wu-Tang was 36 Chambers. That album was the start of the tree.
Then you get the Infamous.
But then we get with the Infamous. And to me, that's the most important album. I'm not saying the best album.
For your label?
Well, because it gave us real credibility, and it gave us...
Yeah, because look, we put 2 on the board at that point.
Yeah, within 2 years.
Do you like... I can only imagine, because that album is such a...
And we had a Flex album that did... Everybody was like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, the 60 Minutes of Funk. Yeah, I still have that. I actually think I have that on vinyl. Shout out to Flex. Crazy. I forgot that was on... But did you guys have the Tunnel album?
No, that was
Def Jam? Okay, yeah. The Infamous is an album that is like, there's such a vulnerability about parts of the album. It's just such a dynamic body of work.
It's making a second life. Like Shook One's, the beat was voted best hip hop beat of all time, right? And then An Eye for an Eye for me is one of my favorite records of all time.
Yes, I think, dude, Give Up the Goods.
Good. Yeah, 100%. But I remember, I said earlier, I was a basketball junkie, right? So I'd be in the city, but on Sundays, there was this one game in Long Island where I grew up with. And even though I'm in my 30s now, everybody would still go to this park. So I'd wake up at 7:30 in the morning, get in a car, go to the park, and play the album. And I would, for 45 minutes, I would keep it on repeat. An Eye for an Eye.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time.
And it was like fighting music for me. Like, I would get to that fucking park of like...
Ready.
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's crazy. Like, do you recall when you heard Shook Ones for the first time?
The original or...
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Or part 2?
Part 2.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly where I heard it. I just found out my girlfriend was pregnant.
Okay.
Found out around 1 o'clock. Comes to the office with a bunch of cookies.
Okay.
She tells me she's pregnant.
Big deal. Big day.
2:30. Maddie and Free walking. He goes, we got to play you something. What the fuck is it?
Man.
And I'm like, wow. And then 2 days later, we had to go down to Florida for How Can I Be Down?
Which was another conference.
It was a conference.
Yeah.
And I guess Maddie already played the record for Stretch and Bobbito.
They probably loved it.
But there was a basketball game at one of the parks, pickup game. And Bob goes, you got to fucking smash on your fucking head. And it's starting to bubble. Like, just, in New York, but go away for Christmas break. And when we come back, the thing is through the roof. Like,
it's crazy too, because I mean, like you said, the second life, I think there was a generation that found that song through the 8 Mile movie, which is random.
Yeah, but now there's another,
but
like,
it's just
like my youngest son now, even though he's 24, he's like,
it just keeps getting new legs.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, is it platinum at this point? It's got to be
Oh
platinum.
yeah, it's
Man.
definitely platinum.
It's funny because you'll see certain songs that you would assume were platinum already. Sometimes you'll see an RI like, oh wait, that's barely like that's gold. Like, damn, that feels like that should be fucking diamond. You know?
I think this album has more streams than 36 Chambers.
That might make sense because the streaming era.
How do we
You could look it up.
if we go to Spotify and see what Mobb Deep's monthly listeners are and what Wu-Tang's monthly listeners
as a
are.
group, just go Mobb Deep, go Wu-Tang. That's interesting. 5.4 million for Mobb Deep. So it's close. It's close. That's fucking wild.
Do me a favor. What's Akon at? Yeah.
I'm going to say 14.
That's that.
Crazy.
He hasn't put out a record in fucking.
I mean, he's had a couple new singles, but they haven't. They're not big streaming hits. They've been doing it on radio, but that shit's fucking.
You know, I have 19 billion streams with him, and I haven't seen.
I want to get to. We're gonna get. Listen,
I haven't
we're
seen
gonna
it.
get to the SRC.
I haven't seen a penny from it because there was no streaming when I sold.
We got it. We're gonna get to the SRC shit.